reading what you've written and studying your thinking, would you have sat down and negotiated with the Taliban, or would you have been as quick as the Americans were to put boots on the ground?
I would have negotiated with the Taliban right up front, as early as September, October, definitely before we started military operations against Afghanistan. And I actually expressed this in a discussion with Richard Holbrooke in an appearance on the History Channel. I said, we need to identify the moderate element in the Taliban and sit down and talk to them about how to deal with Al-Qaeda. He said, there's no such thing as a moderate element. I said, Mutawakil's the foreign minister. He's the epitome of moderation. They refused to accept the notion of a moderate Taliban. They also showed an absolute ignorance to something called the Pashtunwali, or it's the complex tribal code of the Pashtun.
That has an unwritten ethos, does it not?
Absolutely.
But they protect their way of life and define their traditional lifestyle of the Pashtun people. Really, they protect it with everything, right? So if you can,
it defines them.
It defines them. So if you can tap into that, suddenly you've got leverage over hearts and minds.
Right, and see, the Pashtunwali is a double-edged sword, because if they invited Osama bin Laden and his Al-Qaeda operatives into Afghanistan, and in doing so, they assume responsibility for them. Now, everybody says, well, that's responsibility, meaning they're going to protect them. Therefore, if we go after Al-Qaeda, the Taliban is going to defend them and that's true. But it also means that Osama bin Laden and Al-Qaeda must behave properly while they're under protection. And the Taliban, Mullah Omar and his subordinates said, if Osama bin Laden and Al-Qaeda did what you claim they did, if they ordered a terrorist attack against the United States that killed thousands of innocent civilians, that is a violation of Sharia law.
Right.
And therefore, they have violated Pashtunwali, and we will evict them. We will send them down. Now, we're not going to give them to you. We're not going to give them to America. But we will give them to a third-party Islamic nation. He will leave Afghanistan, and we will evict Al-Qaeda. And all you have to do is prove to us that he did in fact do this. If you can do that, we will handle this problem. And I'm like, that's the easiest solution there is. The problem with that solution is, A, it required people in the United States to respect Afghan culture and the Pashtunwali code. We don't. And B, it didn't solve the problem of bloodlust. You see, after 9/11, it wasn't just about holding Osama bin Laden to account. We needed to kick the hell out of something. We needed to stack bodies. We needed dead people. Remember Cofer Black, the CIA guy, he wanted Osama bin Laden's head on a pike. He ordered the first CIA team in there to bring in dried ice so that they could literally pack the head of Osama bin Laden and ship it back home so he could present it to George W. Bush. He wasn't joking that's what he wanted. That's what the American people want. And when you're operating in that level of bloodlust, you're not going to get sound policy. We needed to kill people, and the Taliban became the easiest ones to kill.